Hello, my name is Robert Eric Shoemaker, and I am a poet and scholar of magic. Not sleight of hand or tricks that you might see on a Vegas stage. I am invested in magical uses of language, the power of which flows from primal sources bigger than discrete languages. Sources like what some scholars call the semiotic, or the significance behind the sign of language. Sources that are grounded in emotion and the unsayable. Magic exists, and often takes the form of poetry. This will be the topic of this audio essay in 3 parts. The nature of a magical poetics. Ouija. It is a chilly god, a god of shades, rises to the glass from his black fathoms. At the window, those unborn, those undone, assemble with the frail paleness of moths, an envious phosphorescence in their wings. Vermilions, bronzes, colors of the sun in the coal fire will not wholly console them. Imagine their deep hunger, deep as the dark for the blood heat that would ruddle or reclaim. The glass mouth sucks blood heat from my forefinger. The old god dribbles in return his words. Sylvia Plath is one of the most well-known contemporary poets, but most people don't know that she was heavily influenced by magic and the occult. That poem, Ouija, is related to her own practice of divination and channeling by Ouija board, which she practiced with her then-husband Ted Hughes. Plath's collection, Ariel, maps uncannily well onto occult practices and forms of knowledge. Here's poet and scholar Julia Gordon Bramer describing her discovery of the occult practices of Plath, one of America's favorite poets.
Okay, so first, I was in graduate school. This was 2007. I was at the University of Missouri, St. Louis, getting my MFA in creative writing, poetry, and fiction. Excuse me. And, I've always loved class, and I had a semester end project where I got to pick my subject, and I wasn't really sure what to do, and I remember having some really lame ideas, and my professor said, why don't you write about Sylvia Plath? She makes you on fire here. And I had approached him about how I had seen a lot of tarot imagery in her work. And as a professional tarot card reader, of course, that really interested me. So I did my digging it was supposed to be the semester end project, and it really became my life's work. Initially, I realized that the book Ariel, not the original publication, but the restored edition, it was restored by Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes' daughter, Frida Hughes. She wanted Ariel published as her mother had intended. And when I saw the ordering of the poems, it became quite clear to me, Morning Song is the Fool card, and the Couriers is the Magician, and the Rabbit Catcher is the High Priestess, and it goes on in perfect tarot order. And I realized when you know the tarot card meaning, that's corresponding to each of these poems, it just unlocked the meaning of the poems in an incredible way. And then I became very, so I had to prove that this wasn't just my theory, and at first I just had basic hints, like in Daddy, of course. She says, with my gypsy ancestress and my weird luck and my tarot pack, I may be a bit of a Jew. So, I was like, is tarot the same as tarot? And I looked it up, and sure enough, it is. And the whole Jewish thing got me headlong into Kabbalah, which is what tarot is. It's an ancient Jewish mysticism upon which tarot is structured. And every poem in Ariel has at least 6 different meanings, depending on whether you look at it through the lens of her literal biography, which is how most people, they read that and then they stop there, and it's such a shame, because there, you were mentioning about the magic in poetics, what a poem can do is mind-blowing, how the same set of words can be interpreted all of these different yet related ways, So when you explore a Plath poem, like, let's just take the first one in Ariel, Morning Song, and, she says, love sets you going like a fat gold watch. Well, on the historical level, she wrote that poem on Valentine's Day in 1962. Love set it going, And this fat gold watch, there was a new element that had just been discovered in science called Lawrencium. And one of the further lines, I don't have the poem in front of me right now, but you take your place among the elements. It's so obviously part of a news story that she brought into that, which is awesome, But so there's that whole angle, and most poets would stop there and say, okay, cool, there's this like other double meaning here. But Plath, she did more than that. She did triple, quadruple, whatever 5 is, and then 6 couple meanings, and then some, and so she just had this gift for milking the meanings of words and going in all these different directions and saying different yet related things. So yeah, it's just phenomenal, what she did with one set of words, in a poem. It's truly a spell. It's truly magic.
Julia Gordon Bramer is a tarot reader, as she mentions, and so her finding of Plath's practice in Ariel is natural for her. Gordon Bramer has published on Plath many times in order to further unpack Plath's practices and make them more widely known. Many other writers practice divination to produce their poetry. Others write spell-like texts to influence their contemporary political moment. Still others write poetry imitative of occult structures, like the Kabbalah tree of life. All of them share an interest in writing from magical sources.